Hello friends, welcome to Insights Icon Initiative. In today's video, we are going to cover these four topics. Before we discuss all these four topics in detail, first let us see the theme of the day. Today's theme of the day is international initiatives. When you are reading about any international initiative, you have to look at these following areas. Recent initiative by India and any developed countries and how it is going to impact India. Then you have to check initiatives in news. If any new initiatives are coming up, other than this first area, if any new initiatives are coming up, you have to check that one. And most of the times, direct questions are coming from the international initiatives. Majorly, which countries took that initiative, whether India is associated with that initiative or not, and what is the nature of that initiative. These are the area of questions based on the international initiatives. Now let us see one example related to this particular topic. Belt and Road Initiative. See here, this is related to one of the international initiative. Belt and Road Initiative is sometimes mentioned in the news. In the context of the affairs of, it is related to what? Obviously, it is a pretty much straightforward question. It is related to China. One kind of, the similar kind of initiative recently done by India in terms of India, like East Asia Economic Corridor. India, East Asia Economic Corridor. Of course, in today's video as well, we are going to discuss about this particular thing. So that is the theme of the day. And in today's video, like I said earlier, we are going to discuss about these following four topics. Let me read out these topics first. India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. It is related to IR. One Nation, One Student ID initiative. It is related to governance. State governments, they got the directions that take the consent from the parents before enroll the students for this One Nation, One Student ID initiative. We will discuss what is that One Nation, One Student ID and what is the significance of that, how the data will be stored and how it is going to help to students. Next, Vajra, Mushti, Kalaga. It is related to Karnataka. If any student from Karnataka is listening this video, you must have know about this particular art. Okay. Meanwhile, tell me students, this particular art is related to which part of Karnataka? If you know, please put your answer in the comment section. Then International Competition Network, ICN, it is related to economy. In India, we have one agency known as Competition Commission of India. Recently, it joined into the steering committee of this particular organization. The steering committee consists of 18 members and we will discuss further regarding this particular news. Now, first let us see the first topic, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. Okay, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. This particular, okay, already I told you this IEEC, India, Middle East, okay, Europe Economic Corridor, we discussed. Now, let's see why it is in news. India and this Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. Recently, America claiming that the announcement of this corridor as well, it is also one of the reason behind Hamas attacking on the Israel. How come that can be possible? According to America's version, this is, this corridor is facilitating Saudi Arabia and some of the Islamic nations very close to Israel and developed nations, and that is unpalpable to Hamas. Hamas is not accepting that their fellow Islamic nations are moving very close to Israel and America. So that is the reason also they want to reduce the influence of these, these relations. So that might be the reason as well behind Hamas attack. Actually, there are many factors behind Hamas attack on Israel. So America is claiming that this can be also one of the reason behind this Hamas attack. So in this map, you can observe India, Middle East Economic Corridor. This corridor consists of shipping route in two ways, okay, on the either side of the Arabian Peninsula, and it is also consists of a rail route as well. Rail route is across the Arabian Peninsula and shipping route is connecting Arabian Peninsula to India as well as Arabian Peninsula to Europe. This entire corridor can be divided into two parts. And not only this is a connective corridor, it also facilitates the internet connectivity and it also facilitates the energy connectivity as well. Okay, in the form of energy pipelines as well as the data network cables. Now we will see further news. Why it is in news? The US president, like I said earlier, this corridor is also one of the reasons behind Hamas attack on Israel. Next, recently in G20 summit, where the recent G20 summit held in India, you know that. And if you know where the next G20 summit is going to be held, Okay, it's going to build in which country? Put your answer in the comment section. India, USA, UAE, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, Italy, and European Union. All these bodies or agencies as well as nations, they signed a memorandum of understanding which created this particular corridor. What is the main objective? The main objective behind this corridor is enhanced economic connectivity as well as economic integration between the various parts of the continents. This particular corridor consists of two components: East corridor which connect India with Middle East, the Northern corridor which connect the Middle East to Europe. And it also consists of railway lane, like I said earlier, as well as the shipping lane connectivity as well. Along with the connectivity part, it also connects in terms of energy as well as the data. What are the opportunities for India? It can be seen as an alternative to BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, and our progress through Iran, that is in the form of Chabahar port, which is a bigger part of the north-south transport corridor. International north-south transport corridor, it is not going in much progress. So this can be seen as an alternative to that. And it also bypasses the Pakistan, so we can connect other parts of the world by bypassing the Pakistan. It also strengthens the India-US collaboration as well. This is our first topic. The second one is about the One Nation, One Student ID card. Actually, this is popularly known as APAR. Now, in the context of the One Nation, One Student ID card, here student will be given one ID card, and that ID card will be linked to academic bank. The academic bank consists of all the achievements of the students in terms of academic achievements as well as the extracurricular achievements as well. By using this ID, students can also store all their academic documents. So through this ID, they can also access the DigiLocker. So when student is shifting from one school to another school, they don't face any challenges. They don't need to carry the documents in physical format. So this is how it will help. And not only that, this ID also helps to schools as well as the state agencies also to understand the performance of the student across from their preliminary stage to the advanced stage of their education, so that the government also can do the course correction, and that may result to some of the reforms in education as well. Now we'll see the topic. All the state governments, they were directed that while you are generating this ID, please take the consent of the parents, because students are minors and their parents' consent has to be taken. Here, in examination point of view, you have to know the technical jargon of this particular ID. The technical term for this ID is Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry, APAR, and it's a part of the One Nation, One Student ID initiative. And this initiative launched as a part of the new education policy, which was announced in 2020. This entire program is coordinated by, that is, nodal ministry is Education Ministry. If you know who is the Union Minister for Education, put your answer in the comment section. Next, APAR. It is a special ID system which is given to all the students from their childhood to the higher education. It will help in tracking their academic progress. Under this initiative, each student will get a lifelong APAR ID. Through that, their performance from pre-primary education to the higher education can be tracked. And also, they can have access to the DigiLocker, where they can store all their exam results, report cards, and other academic achievements as well. They can be stored and they can be accessed easily as well. How it works? This ID will be connected to the academic bank credit, and this academic bank credit will act as a digital storage house. Significance. Like I mentioned earlier, it will smoothen the student transfer from one education to another education. When parents are transferring from one state to another state, nowadays it is becoming difficult to change from one school to another school. So that can be very easily through this ID. So they don't need to carry the physical documents. Simply, they can change all this entire academic profile to another institution at their ease. Now, next, third topic is, it's an art from the Karnataka, and this particular art is mainly from the Mysore region, and we'll see the name of this art is Vajra Mushti Kalaga. Like thunderbolt fist, that means to their fist, okay, they keep knuckle dusters which are made up of animal bones, and the opponents fight each other. Whichever the opponent draws blood from opposite opponent, that person will be declared as winning candidate. These people generally known as judges, or Pahalwans. And ancestors, they came from Gujarat during the time of Mughal attacking on Gujarat. You know that very popularly when Akbar defeated the Gujarat ruler on the memory of that victory, Akbar also constructed, like one entrance. What is the name of that entrance? If you remember, put that in the comment section. Whether it is a Buland Darwaza or Alai Darwaza, what is the name of that entrance? On the memory of the Gujarat victory. Now, these people, they settled down in the Mysore region of the Karnataka, and now this art form is in declining stage. Previously, it used to be performed throughout the Dasara festival, throughout Navratris. Now it confined to only one day. As this particular art form is declining, it is very essential to get awareness about this particular art form. Okay, now we will see the Vajra Mushti Kalaga. It is a martial art form from Mysore, and it is in the terminally declining stage. It's a hand-to-hand combat where the major characteristic feature of this one is using knuckle dusters, which are made up of bones from elephants, buffalo, and various animals. Objective: to neutralize the opponent. So it's like a self-defensive art. When it is performed, nowadays it is performing on the 9th day of the Navaratri at Amba Vilas Palace in Mysore. You know that Mysore is also very popular for Krishna Janmashtami, Sri Krishna Janmashtami celebrations as well. Who are these jetties? These are the people traditionally from Gujarat. They settled in old Mysore over 600 years ago when this Gujarat experienced the advent of Mughals. Their ancestors also settled in the areas of Maharashtra. Still, they are in the occupation of wrestling. Background: this particular art form is very popular during the period of Vijayanagara rulers between 14th and 17th century. You know that Vijayanagara rulers' capital is Hampi, and Hampi is also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. However, this particular art is going into extinct. Nowadays, it is performing only in one day. Now, where this art form was mentioned historically, in the historical texts, if you refer, this Vajramushti was first mentioned in the Manasalosa. Okay, Manasalosa. Okay, this Manasalosa is wartime warfare book. That means how to perform the war. It was during the time of King Someshwara III of the Chalukya dynasty. Even the Portuguese travelers as well, in their accounts, they mentioned about this particular art form. And the last one we are going to discuss, that is the International Competition Network. From India, the Competition Commission of India. This is the agency from India which oversees the fair competition in the Indian market. Now, our agency been elected as a member in the steering committee. The steering committee consists of 18 member countries. Now, let's see. The Competition Commission from India elected to the 18-member body of steering committee. Which international organization this is? International Competition Network, ICN. And the membership is purely voluntarily, and all the decisions will be taken based on the consent. And whatever the advices given by this organization, they are only advisory in nature, not binding. It was established in 2001. It is an informal network. What is the main purpose? The main purpose is to improve the cooperation between the countries regarding the promotion of the fair competition across the economies. Okay, it's a global body. Member, how many member countries are there? 141 competition agencies from various countries. They have membership. Membership nature, voluntary in nature. All the decisions will be taken on consensus based. Function: they set rules regarding the competition and to promote the fair trade across the globe. So these are the 4 topics of today's video. Now let us see yesterday's video question. What is Rio Plus 20 conference often mentioned in the news? Why it is mentioned? It is a UN conference on sustainable development goals. So it's a pretty straightforward question. Now let's see today's video question. With reference to the India, Middle East, Europe corridor, consider the following statement. Regarding that particular corridor, read these 2 statements and pick the right one. Mains question. What is the significance of this particular corridor for India and the world? And discuss what are the challenges associated with the implementation of this particular corridor. This is today's mains question. Now, as we reach to the end of this video, so in this video particularly we discussed about these 4 topics such as India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, One Nation, One Student ID Initiative, Vajra Mushti Kalaga, and International Competition Network. And this is the detailed analysis regarding the current issues related to today. Thank you.